Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Global Desi Women. I'm your host, Arti Solanki, and today we are going to talk about Desi women health, mental and physical well-being. As a Desi women, we often find ourselves balancing cultural expectations, family responsibilities, and personal ambitions, which kind of takes a toll on our minds and body. So, how do we prioritize our well-being while navigating these challenges? That's exactly what we are here to explore today. So, joining me, I have three incredible women, and each bringing their unique perspective to this table. We have Rhea Palicha and Kavita Jasani, and also our Swetha Reddy. Ladies, I know Ria, it's been a while, so why don't y'all introduce yourself? Because I know a few listeners, they might have forgotten you because you came after a long time, Ria. So let's introduce ourselves and then get on the topic.
Absolutely. Well, hello. My name is Rhea Palicha. I'm based out of Austin, and I am in marketing. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis. But good to be back.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Kavita?
Hi, I'm Kavita Jasani. I'm based in Houston. All right, my current job is in finance and accounting, but my degree is I'm civil engineer, and I'm here today. This is my second time with the Global Desi podcast.
Very nice. Welcome again. Thank you. And Sweta?
Hi, viewers. I'm Swetha Reddy and I'm MBA Finance and Marketing. So let's start our podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And welcome again, ladies. As Desi women, we often wear so many hats, right? Like a caregiver, professionals, we are mothers, daughters, friend. And in trying to balance it all, I think we often keep our health often takes a backseat because we don't really think about ourselves. And today, we are flipping the script. We're putting our well-being in front and center. So, I'm thrilled to have these amazing co-hosts today, so we can start the conversation. Let's start and let's begin with this. First, I want to say that we often come to this stigmatized in the community, right, with this topic because mental health challenges, how they see women faces it is so much different because we don't really like to talk about our mental health at all. And even if we do, we always feel, I think like we always feel like is somebody
Shaming.
judging you like we openly say that, yeah, we should be more open about it, we should have the conversation, but as soon as somebody starts the conversation, I think a lot of judgment and a lot of I wouldn't say shaming, but a lot of judgment is involved, and especially we try to say, hey, you're strong, you can do it, you got it. Yeah, it's good to uplift, but at the same time you need to listen to what exactly they're going through, right? What is that they really need behind behind the scenes, what they're thinking about, what is the trauma, or what is the main reason or cause of that issue. So let's dive deep into that first topic about I want to talk about mental health before we talk about the physical health, because I feel like if there is a mental health, the physical health automatically kind of kicks in, because we all know number one, stress causes all the physical issues. So
Yes.
that again is the mental health. So so I would say let's talk about that, and what are your inputs and what are your strong beliefs when it comes to mental health? I'd like to know about what do you all think about it.
Okay. So physical health and mental health are both important to us, but with the physical health, it's seen, it's shown. It's like you need to figure out, you have to do some workout or something is shown. But with the mental health, you need to track it. You don't address it. Most of the people, if we say also we are depressed about something, or like something is not wrong with me, I'm sleeping a lot, I'm eating a lot, which is not regular, and I don't know, like if we tell also, that they will say that it's okay, you'll be okay, kind of stuff, the way you said that,
Mm.
where we need to address it. Something is happening with you. Some healing should be done to you. That's what I think. So we need to figure out, or else first go to your parents whom you trust, figure out with them, or else go with the people whom you trust. If they are busy with their own stuff, or parents are not understanding, they're busy in their own job, so go to help with the counseling, go to the counseling, and track your thing, what's happening with you, and go. That's what you can do to help
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, and I think the um that's a very good point first, Sweta. It's absolutely a good point. And I feel like the younger generation today addresses mental health a lot differently than compared to my generation or my parents' generation, right? Because I think they're very open about it. They talk about it. And that's one of the things I really love about that the younger generation. I feel like the women today, the younger women, like they say, a woman is strong, but she's stronger together. So I think the younger group is really open about it. And if they need help, they can ask for help, not like us, that at least
Yeah.
not my generation. We never used to be that open about it. So I think Rhea can probably address on that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think my biggest belief around mental health is take it seriously, right? And I think the younger generation has done a good job of being more aware
Hmm.
about the topic, but I do think there is still a strong sort of narrative in the South Asian community that still like we can't talk about mental health, or I feel depressed. Oh, beta, that's nothing. Like do some yoga,
Hmm.
you'll be fine. Or like I feel like I'm not myself or whatever it is. I feel like sometimes it's kind of not taken too seriously and
Yeah.
things happen. I've had stories, I've listened to stories of, it going down some very poor routes. And so I think what's important too is for both generations, for younger generation to talk about it, but also the other generations to take it just as seriously.
Yeah.
And that, medication is okay. Therapy is okay.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
nothing that sometimes a talk doesn't,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like you mentioned, depression, anxiety, there is medication available, but also the support system is
Mhm.
needed. And especially I feel like the parents need to understand more, and it's not like, okay, yeah, you're feeling down today, but okay, it's okay, just shake it off and just
Yeah.
move on, and like be strong and this and that. And yeah, like I said before, it's yeah, they're good words to uplift, but not it does not solve the problem for that kid, right? Or anybody, not just a kid, anybody, even the grown-ups. Like, anxiety is become, I would say, such a norm thing now that we all go through so much stress in day-to-day lives. I have anxiety. I take pills, and I've gone through a lot, but I feel like it took me a while to talk about it. But once I started talking about it, the more I talked about it, I felt like it was opening the doors for me, like, getting to know more about other people, what they did or what their problem was, and how they were dealing with their depression or how they were dealing with anxiety, what worked for them and what would work for me. So I feel like talking about it and being open, having the conversation about it helps a lot. And that's where we lack as an Indian community, because we don't really like to talk about depression and anxiety, and it kind of it doesn't, cultural expectation to be
Expectation, yeah.
strong and never show vulnerability. And that's why we kind of like are scared to talk about it. And we don't really
Instead
want
of
to.
parents saying that it's okay, if they say that the kid is more upset, they will stop sharing things with you. They
Hmm.
will stop sharing
Yes.
things with you. Instead of that, if you don't understand the child also, try to listen.
Hmm.
Try to listen. And if you don't understand, take for help, like whomever. Like in a family, if they listen to somebody, take to them. Or they are also judging you, keep it to yourself and take it to whom they can help. What
Hmm.
I think.
Also, culture expectation, like career-wise or society. And I remember during, India school, 12th board exam, it's
Yeah.
like comparison and too much pressure. Parents'
Yeah.
expectation, either you become a doctor or engineer, and it's hard for kids if they are not capable, and then they go to, depression, anxiety
Yeah, there's so many
kind of stuff.
suicides happening in India because of that,
Yeah.
because they want the kid to have like 99%, 100% to go to certain colleges, but they're not capable. They're just not able to do it. And they're like really killing themselves for that.
Some
So-
people ask, why didn't you got that 1%?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But I like what Ria said, that, the younger generation have been more open about it, and also not just being open about it, but I think they take they've taken the steps for it, right? They know if they need therapy, they would go sign up for the therapy. They don't
Yes.
need to. I've seen that in the younger crowd, that they can openly talk about, yeah, you know what, I'm going through this and I'm going for therapy. And they would openly share that. And that makes me feel really proud of them, that they can tell somebody that, yeah, I'm going for therapy. And there is nothing wrong in it. That is why that's what it's made for, to help you, to help you with your mental health, to help you with that situation, whatever situation you're going through. So I feel like the younger women are definitely doing their work when it comes to mental health. There have been more mindfulness, and they're practicing it, and they're not hesitant about talking to it. And we need to normalize these kind of conversation. I feel like that is very important, because it should not be like a taboo, like, like, can't talk about it. So I I think that has been very difficult in our generation. When we it reminds me of one of the TikToks I've seen, where, the kid says, I'm going into depression," and the mom says, "Yeah, go, but come back before 8 o'clock."
It's not a joke.
So, it kind of tells us how lightly we take these kind of issues, which are really serious issues, but we take it such lightly, and we make it a joke. But it's not a joke, because people actually die out of it, and we need to be more serious about it. We need to not only having the conversation, but noticing that, right? Because in a household of four or two or whatever you are, if you cannot figure out that the other person living in the same roof has a mental issue, then there is a problem. You should be able to notice that, right? Because it's not, it's not out of the blue that somebody just started being isolated, or they're just sitting on the couch, or they're just sleeping a lot, or like Sweta said, they're gaining weight a lot, or they're not talking too much, or whatever the signs may be of depression. The people living in that household, or the close friends, should
Friend.
be able to notice that, right? Because otherwise, what good does it do if you cannot tell somebody that, hey, you know what, I think you need help.
Oh,
Maybe you cannot figure out yourself, but I think you need help. And there's so many things available out there, like therapy or doctors or prescriptions. But I think that we need to be more mindful of that, like knowing who's going through some tough situation. Because a lot of times, even as friends and family, we don't really share our personal
Mm-hmm.
problems. And to figure that out and to lend a hand to somebody saying that, hey, you know what? It's okay. I'm here for you. That takes a lot of courage and step for the person who's dealing with the issue. They might be coming, say, feeling like, okay, yeah, somebody's there to see, or somebody's there to help me. So it changes a lot for that person who's
It
going
gives
through all of
strength to
this.
them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sorry, Kavita, you were trying to say something.
no, you already covered that.
Oh, I feel like I talk too much and I
No,
don't
no,
give an
you did.
opportunity.
So I don't want to repeat the same thing. So
No worries. You can repeat. I'm sure in your words it'll come out a little better.
good.
Right. But yeah, I think and again, like stress goes with it too, with the mental health. And I want to talk about, since we talked so much about depression and stress and anxiety, but what are the things that we can do to pull yourself out of it, right? Because having those issues, noticing, accepting those issues, that okay, we have these issues, but to work on it and to turn your life around to help have a healthy mental health is so much important, right? So what are the steps that we need to do as they see women? And I feel like our ancestors already told us yoga, meditation is
Meditation.
the best thing, right?
Meditation is the best.
Yeah. And in today's generation, I would say Pilates. I mean, I know Pilates
Strength
helps.
training.
What is that, Sweta?
Strength training.
Oh, strength training. Yeah, yeah. Anything that helps, right? If you're feeling, I would say, if you're going through something tough and you feel like really, sometimes even boxing might help, right, Rhea?
Boxing's great, highly recommend. It's interesting to see, right, depending on the person of like what's going to relieve you of thoughts. Of that escaping into a movie or a book? Is that relieving it through physical form of activity like running or boxing? Is that, is that more of a medicated approach or simply talking to someone? And I think it's okay. I think like first step is to recognize it, that there is something. And then two, being okay with experimenting, right? Because not every way is going to work. You got to, figure out what's really going to help. And it takes time, like a self-help book is not going to solve it overnight. Um, One talk may not, solve it overnight. So I think being open-minded at the same time of just working on yourself.
Yeah. And
Talk to.
just
Yeah, I think figure out what makes you anxious and stay out of it as much possible.
yeah. Yeah. I just speaking about my own personal experience going through depression and anxiety. Um, like you said, Ria, I had to try so many different things, right? I did photography, I was doing painting, I was doing um I did sewing, and I was doing singing, and I was doing everything, every different thing possible for me to figure out what was gonna bring back that
Happy.
joy in my life, because to experience that joy is not something, happiness is not something like, okay, I got this and now I'm happy, but it's the emotional state of mind that you need to feel peace and joy. And for me to figure out that it took a while, almost year and a half. And I know I've said this on a podcast way too many times that it took me a while, but I feel like for me, what worked the best was meditation and a lot of help from all my family and friends. They were constantly with me. They were constantly calling me, texting me, making sure I was okay. My doctors were amazing. And I think it wasn't just one thing that helped, I would say. It was a combination of everything because I wanted to change my life as well. I wanted to change my thoughts. I wanted to get out of that depression feeling of just being so horrible feeling. The depression is such a horrible feeling. And then it's hard, even if I was going out, even if I was meeting people, I was being with my friends or family, that certain time I was there, I was laughing, I was talking, but it still didn't feel that was coming out of from my heart. But and that's was missing for me. And it took me a long time to get out of that zone. And so I would say personally, with my experience to the listeners, if they're experiencing anything like that, that it is not just one thing that will, like Ria said, overnight it's going to work. It's going to be a lot of different things, a combination of things that's going to work to be out of that situation, to out of that mindset. And just don't give up. It's going to happen. You will be like me, talking about it and being on the other side of the table. So it just don't give up. And that is the main thing, just do everything possible that's going to bring you that joy and peace. And I did a lot. I did gardening. I did all sorts of things. I think my husband was such an amazing person. He supported all my craziness in a good sense. And he didn't mind me spending all that money and trying all those different things. But I think at the end of the day, he wanted to see me
Happy.
happy. And then that true smile on my face that actually showed, my joy. So it wasn't like I was just smiling for the sake of smiling. It was the actual joy and happiness that he could see on my face. So I'm truly thankful about that.
Love that. And it's maintenance too, right? It took you,
Mhm.
like you said, about a year and a half to really find that joy, find yourself again. And I think even after that, it's still continuous maintenance of
Mhm.
checking in with yourself of how are you doing? Am
Yeah.
I feeling okay? And like you said earlier too, at the beginning of putting yourself first, because it's so easy to get back into routine and fall into it.
Yep.
We need to
Yep.
give ourselves regular checkups.
Yeah. Then also the thing is that, we don't realize in our such a busy life, like with work and house and everything around, we forget that we need a moment to just sit down and breathe,
Yes.
just sit down and just leave everything and just drop everything, just sit down, just relax, breathe, just be yourself. Because I don't think, even for me, I feel like I kind of just, there are times when by the end of the day, I look at my watch and I'm like, shit, I've been standing for 18 hours. That's crazy. I had more than 10,000 steps. I had been standing for 18 hours. And I've been doing all this, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to just sit down, just chill, you know? And that's, I think we only tend to do that when our body really gives up on us. And that's not good because we wait until our body is like, okay, now you can't work. And that's where we lack. We don't give that time to ourselves. And I think I even tell, even as a business coach, I say this very often that take a break, even while working, take a break because it's so important for even our mental focus. Because when you're constantly working, constantly on the screen, we don't realize that we need that break of 5, 10 minutes and get away and just refresh our mind. And when you come back, you'll be more productive. You'll have better results in your work than you just keep going and going and going.
And
So,
share the load. Share the load.
oh yeah,
The
absolutely.
women, especially from Indian women, they're like, I am the leader. I gonna do this. I'll make my husband comfortable. I make my kids comfortable. I make my relatives comfortable. I wanna be good woman. No man, no. You need not be good person. Take care
Yeah,
of yourself.
yeah,
Me
absolutely.
time. Every day, at least you need a me time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it is, you know, like I said before, all this causes stress, and stress causes so many diseases in our body, right? So when you talk about physical health now, we Indian women, at least my generation, I don't know, we're not very good at physical health. We don't like going to workouts. We don't like doing, at least I'm not that kind of a person. I still am ashamed of saying this, but yeah, I don't do, but I stay active. I'm not, I used to do, I go work out and everything, but now I'm like too lazy for that. But I do keep myself active. I go on walks. Like I said, I stand for so many hours. I've been walking around, and I do certain things to keep my physical health. But also as women, I think one thing when it comes to physical health, we don't really make it a point where we get our body checked up on a regular basis, like get your mammograms done, go to the OB every year, go get your screening done, because those are the steps that prevents us from cancer, right? So we need to do those regularly. We just wait until we fall sick or we are not feeling well, and then we're like, okay. And then too, the first thing will be the home remedies. And if that
Yes.
didn't work, then we'll think about going to the doctor.
Yeah, so many 40-year women are. One of my friend is dead because of the stroke,
Mm,
and they realized like, oh my God, 40, everybody was in shock. And after some while, they called their husband. He is good. Nanny is hired for the kids, and he is going for badminton or playing some games, golf games, this games. Everything is fine. And she was the lady who is like, without her, the house is not running. Everything will not run. I'll not take 1 day break. Without me, nothing works. That kind of attitude was hers.
mm,
And see now, without her, everything is happening very nicely. So take a break. Without you, everything will happen. Like,
yeah,
you need not be detached from your family, but me time means whatever you want to do. Please take time. Like, don't put so much burden on yourself that
yeah,
you're dead.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Nobody cares.
yeah. That's true. That's true. And I mean, like, there are so many other things women can do. Like, even for mental health, I forgot to mention is that journaling, writing down your emotions, what are you going through, what is making you happy, what is not making you happy, what do you like, and those kind of also help. But again, going back to, I'm going switching back and forth, but the physical health, I think Indian food is delicious food, but full of carbs and oil. And so those we need to watch out on those when it comes to physical health, right? And like you said, the stroke and heart attack,
Diabetes.
that yeah, diabetes, and there's so many things that can cause all these physical problems. But my I feel like I want to really stress on women getting their well woman checkups done because I know that at least I know that older generation don't really like going for it. And then they don't, those preventive measures are so, so, so important. And I would request each and every listener, please, please, please do not delay on getting your well woman checkup. Go for it. You have to do that every year. You should do it. It's very important because that can save your life, who knows? And just think about it. It will help not just your health, but also it'll help your family too by, you being healthy. And so they don't have to stress about it, right? So I mean, like I'm telling you, it's we've heard so many times about a breast cancer in younger women's that were not even thought about, like under 40 and you got a breast cancer. How is that possible? We don't do mammograms until after 40.
Yeah.
But you should be doing all those things and you should take care of your body. It is so important. A woman's body changes so much. And even like right now, older women, we go through the menopause, and then our body's changing, our hormones are changing, our again anxiety is changing, our mood swings are changing. So those are all the things when it comes to physical health. I'm not talking about just going and working out and lifting weights and maintaining your weight, and that's all good, but also,
Track on your health. Track on your health.
yeah, as a woman, there are other things that are also very important besides just going for workouts, right? So, ladies, any inputs on those?
Do most of the things, as many things, women, which make them happy, do them as many times you want to go restaurant or healthy options. Okay. Okay, and as many things you want to do which makes you happy, like the podcast you're making, the way you say, the photography, whatever. Like,
Right,
do it as many times as it makes you happy and your good hormone in your body is released.
right.
And in the kids when they come, especially girls or boy, please talk to them, because in our childhood, our parents, we used to be scared and we never used to talk and we never understood certain things. But
Mhm.
now with the kids, I think you need to talk about good touch, bad touch, and every day just talk 2 to 5 minutes what's happening in the school, what is that. You are the best people. You should be the parents should be the first people where the kids should come and they can talk to you and you need to listen to them. Just spend 5 minutes with them and talk to them what's happening with a whole day. How was their day? So
Yeah.
it's more easy, and they will tell and talk about good touch, bad touch.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's super important too of even going back to mental health, but also just connecting it to physical health of just ensuring that your mental health isn't affecting your physical, where, I had that happen where I lost like a full patch of hair, like taking the GRE during my MBA, freaked out. And then as soon as I went to the dermatologist, she's like, "Are you stressed about something?" I said, "Yeah, like I'm taking a big exam." And so those are the things to kind of recognize, right? Like making sure your heart rate is not high and making sure, losing weight or gaining weight or, hair fall, whatever it is as women that we are, I mean, anybody goes through, but especially I think women, when we get so overwhelmed, it feels like, anxiety and depression can really, really affect your
Yeah.
body physically. So
And mental health starts from childhood, not from like it's way big, long period.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, and it's always with you, right? And it's always something you should be checking in on. And like Shweta was saying too, is there are some things that you can't get out of that make you anxious every day. Maybe it is a job and maybe it is time to reconsider. But if there are things like, I don't know what it is, but like things that are not making you happy and like you're deteriorating physically, then maybe it's time to evaluate.
Yeah, yeah. That's very good point, Ria, and that's a very good advice to just evaluate yourself. And self-care, I would say, isn't selfish. It's you you can't pour from an empty cup. You make time for yourself. So that's what it is. Kavita, do you want to
Also,
give an advice about?
yes. I also think family play central role in your
Mhm.
healthcare decision or caregiving. Like,
Mhm.
you surround like kids or husband or parents, if they notice, okay, you are not doing, you're not walking or you're not doing exercising, or they are reminding, okay, did you do your checkup? Like Rina, I was like scared of, colonoscopy regular, and she just say, oh, mom, I'm not coming to see you until you schedule the appointment.
Mhm.
So those kind of, family also play big role to keep us healthy. And same time, I ask, family if they are down or are you okay? How was your day? And for taking care of yourself, do what you like.
Yeah,
Eh, Exercise wise, if you like to go out, walk or treadmill or yoga, meditation, anything.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Like,
And balanced food, you
oh yeah,
know, eating out, yeah, it is good, but every day it's what we don't know what kind of food they are using or canned food, chemical. So balance between home cook and outside food.
yeah. Clean cooking is the best. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And like you said, like, advocate yourself, whether it's with your family or with your doctors. Speak up what your needs are. That's a key. And don't wait for a wake up call, right? Your
Yeah.
health is a foundation of everything else in your life. So don't push it back. You yourself are very important. It's okay sometimes to say me, myself, and I, every
Yes.
I am very important to myself. So you have to put yourself first. And I guess I would say this is such a powerful advice from you all, ladies, and it's a very inspiring and honest conversation, right? So I really am thankful to you all. Um, to to everyone listening, remember your health matters, and taking care of yourself is the best gift you can give to those around you, not just yourself. Like I said before, it's also a gift for people around you. And I think this is pretty much a wrap. It was very interesting, and it was a really good conversation today, talking to you all about all this, mental and physical, both goes hand in hand. And I think you all brought a very good discussion to the table. So, as we wrap up today on the Global Desi Women, I just want to thank all my amazing co-hosts, Rhea Palicha, Kavita Jasani, and Swetha Reddy, for sharing such a valuable insights. And it's been I would say every time I talk about certain topics with y'all, I feel like every time I learn something new, and every time I take something, make a note of, like, yeah, this is something that's gonna stay with me. So I hope our listeners also, when they are listening to our podcast, they catch on something, they make a note of something, they learn something, and and change about their life something, right? To in a good way. So we've touched on a very crucial topic today, from breaking the stigma around the mental health to practical tips of maintaining physical, sorry about that, physical health. So it's, let me just turn that off because, oh my God, I can't believe this. Um, To all our listeners, thank you for joining with us on this journey. And if you found today's conversation helpful, don't forget to share this episode with someone who could benefit from it. Let's keep this dialogue going in our community. And remember, you're never alone on your health journey, whether you are reaching out to friends, exploring helpful apps, or simple taking that small step towards your self care. Every effort counts. Until next time, stay empowered, stay healthy, keep smiling. And this is Arti Solanki signing off, and see you next time. Thank you. As we wrap up today's episode of Global Desi Women, I want to thank all my amazing co-hosts, Rhea Palicha, Kavita Jasani, and Swetha Reddy, for sharing such a valuable insights and perspective on Desi women's mental and physical health. We've touched one of the crucial topic today, from breaking the stigma around mental health to practical tips of maintaining physical well-being. If there's one takeaway, let it be this: your health is your wealth. Taking care of your mind and body is not just important to yourself, but also for the people that you love. To all our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey. If you found today's conversation helpful, don't forget to share this episode with someone who could benefit from it. Let's keep the dialogue going in our community. And remember, you're never alone on your health journey, whether you are reaching out to friends, exploring helpful apps, or simply taking small steps towards self care. Every effort counts. Until next time, stay empowered, stay healthy, keep shining. This is Arti Solanki signing off from Global Desi Women. See you next time. Thank you.